Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. How is everyone today? Happy Thursday.
It is Thursday. Happy, Thursday. Okay. Hey, we've got a great show for you today because we're going to be showing how you can grow 12 months out of the year. So if you're a gardener, you'll want to watch this. If you are a food pantry person, you're going to want to watch this. If you know a food pantry person, you're going to want to watch this. If you know people that are hungry, you're going to want to watch this because this is a cost-efficient way that we can grow fresh produce 12 months out of the year. Stay tuned. We'll be right here as we talk about tower gardens. Picture, if you will, the pure raw prairie. No wires, no fences, no roads, not even a farmhouse. No sign of civilization. This is what a person saw that was crossing the prairie in a wagon more than 170 years ago. They jumped off the wagon, looked around, and declared, "This is where I want to settle and build a town. A great place to live and a great place to raise my family." So they took a risk. They built a house made out of the land, planted food to eat, and cared for the land. Then they wrote back to their friends where they came from and described the great opportunity and promise that they have found. They invited who they knew to join them in their discovery, people they had a relationship with, and so they came, family by family, and those families invited others they knew who they wanted to live with within that community. The communities grew because the needs of the families grew, so entrepreneurs started businesses to meet those community needs. Ice houses, broom factories, general stores, and many other types of sole proprietor entrepreneurial businesses started up within the community. All of our communities across this country, all around the world, were started in this way, with a vision of the future and a plan to grow with people. So then we also grow with quit that. so how do you grow? How do you grow with people? Well, you got to feed them, right? And so feeding them efficiently is a great way to do that. But also, you also need to build healthy communities, and that's what this is. Our Healthy People Create Healthy Communities process is continuing to where we're talking about how does your brain and your gut talk to each other, and how does brain health and gut health affect community health.
So good morning and welcome. I'm Kim Spillers and
I'm Frank Spillers.
Yes, and this is Rural Community Solutions. We create family-friendly, youth-centered places. And one of the ways that, of course, you are a family-friendly, youth-centered place is to be able to feed the people who live in your community.
But it's also to feed you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want a healthy community, the first place that you have to look is in the mirror. In the mirror, because change starts with you. It doesn't start with anybody else out into your community. It starts with you. So if you have healthy thoughts, healthy words, if you're doing healthy actions, that's the place to start. But you also have to have nutrition for your body. We call it having nutrition for your mind, which are healthy words, healthy thoughts, healthy actions, and nutrition for your body, which is healthy food.
So we find that everything that we do, of course, is linked because our systems are linked. Our body, our network, our brain talks to our gut talks to our brain. That helps our literal body to function. And so what we're going to be talking about today in our continuing series during January, Healthy People Make Healthy Communities, is to talk about a system that we have in our home. And here's a picture of it actually on the left. And it's called the Tower Garden. So this is exciting for healthy food that you can grow at home in a really small space, really easily.
You know, I'm not a gardener, right? I don't like, yeah, she is, all right. She'll garden for hours outside in the summertime, in the springtime. I mean, that's what she does. That's how she relaxes. That's and God bless her, because that's not me. That I just don't like to play in the dirt. I don't like
a lot.
I do help.
Yes.
It's power of the ring. Okay.
Yes.
It's not my passion. However, when we got this tower garden a couple of years ago, it's interesting because I'm into technology. I'm into how do things work, and not in an engineering process, but I love to learn, and I love to learn new things. And so how this system works is very, very interesting to me, because it was developed by NASA at Epcot, right?
Well, it was for NASA, but Epcot in Disneyland in Orlando, or Disney World in Orlando, is where the man who developed the Tower Garden was working. And so this is an end result of that, and continues to be just a fabulous system to be able to easily grow nutritious food.
But look at this. I mean, this is just amazing, because it's efficient. You can grow 20 plants at least, at the minimum. At the minimum, you can grow 20 plants in a 2.5 by 2.5 foot space, 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet. This is our tower garden that's downstairs in a very small room that we call the plant room. And if I showed you a picture of it, it's also our recycling room. But anyway, it's our plant room. But this is where it lives, and it's very eco-friendly. It's equal in friendliness and eco, but it uses 1/10 of the water. I mean, this is amazing. You grow from between the garden and indoor. All right, you use 90% less water. It saves you 90% water, and you can grow it in 1/10 of the space. I mean, look at 2.5 by 2.5. Okay, it's cost effective and it's safe. This is food grade plastic, folks. It's really easy. We take it apart a couple of times a year and clean it, and put it back together, replant it. But that's all. We continue to get fresh produce off of this for months and months and months. And this is what it looks like. I mean, it's really amazing of what it is. Now, if you live in this condominium or an apartment in, say, downtown metro area, this isn't a rural or urban type of thing. This is for you also. So if you're in an apartment, or you have your elderly folks in an apartment and they used to garden, then this is a system for them, because it's very, very easy. There's not a lot of work to it, because a lot of it is on timers and it does things automatically. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But for you on the video cast here, now for you on the podcast, as you're listening to this, you will want to go to this video, because we are showing pictures of what the tower garden looks like. On the left, you have a tower garden sitting on a balcony. So it's an apartment, but it's overlooking the city, and you can even grow it in a condominium type of place like this. But on the right, look at this. This is called a tower farm. This is in a community that is growing towers, growing food for their community. So if you have a food bank, if you have a food pantry, you will really want to look at one of these, because a tower farm can feed many, many families over and over and over again, because it reproduces itself quite efficiently. And so it's less labor intensive than a actual garden, because there's no weeding.
There's no dirt. It's much cleaner as well.
But there's no weeding,
Yeah,
so you
that's a big deal.
don't get those pesky little weeds that you're trying to get rid of all the time. So how does it work? What is the magic in a tower garden? This is called an aeroponic system. Now, you've probably heard the term hydroponic. Hydroponic is where the plant sits in water all the time.
The roots do.
And the plants float. Okay, so that's the hydroponic system. Aeroponic is where the roots are watered. Just the roots are watered, but the plants are really growing in the air. It's no dirt. There is no dirt. And so this is really how the tower garden works that I want to show you what's going to be happening. That's how it works. It's really, really amazing. You have that 20-gallon tank. It pumps it up through the tube, and it showers down upon the roots that are growing inside the tube, and the plants grow on the outside. So that's really, it's an amazing process, and it's really fun to watch.
Now, in addition to the 20-gallon, that is a decent sized basin. The company is Juice Plus, and the company has also come out with a 13-gallon that can be maybe a better literal fit for smaller places like apartments or condominiums or just small spaces, whatever your house setting happens to be. So there are a couple of options in terms of what the gallon containment might be.
Now, you might be asking, okay, where's the cost effectiveness of this? Why, if I buy one, where's the payback? There is a return on investment here. So if you are money conscious on will it pay for itself? Yes, it'll pay for itself in less than a couple of years, all right? Depending upon the system that you purchase and how you use it. But within a 2-year span, you will have purchased your tower garden. In other words, after that, you will be making money because you'll be saving money. And so I want to run through this just a little bit. This is what a tower garden is worth. All right. If you buy, if this is for 6 months, if you're buying this produce, okay, here that you can see that there's, oh, I can't see what they are. Maybe you can, let's see, because it's
for you on the podcast, this is a table that shows a list of about a dozen foods. There are little pictures on the left-hand side.
There's peppers and cabbage and celery and chard and cherry tomatoes. That's tomatoes, by the way. Okay. And cucumbers, eggplant, herbs. That's tomatoes, regular tomatoes. These are things that you can grow on the tower. And the cost of those, if you purchase those on a 6-month basis for your family, okay, if you purchase those on a 6-month basis, the 6-month purchase that you will have spent on that, on the average, is about $796 or right around $800. You're buying a produce over 6 months. Now, your initial investment of the tower garden is anywhere between $50 to $75 to $80 a month. All right. So it depends upon the system that you buy of what it, and you can pay for it on a monthly basis, or you can pay for it just outright. Okay. And so that over the course, so you can't, this is not a one size fits all type of thing, but it is a generalized chart of your return on investment. So it will pay for itself over the course of a couple of years. And so I wanted to make sure that people understood that, while you're also, though, saving water, you're saving space, and you're saving electricity, because there are lights involved with this, as you could see on our model. There are lights involved, but that uses pennies on the dollar of electricity over the course of a year. It's very, very inexpensive, and it does not cost, in the long run, it does not cost a lot of money.
One of the things that I think is really valuable about the tower garden is the quality of the produce, because there are tower tonic minerals that the video did mention. The minerals supply all of the vitamins and minerals that the plant itself needs to grow, that they would extract from the dirt if it were grown out in the garden. Well, what we know about our dirt over the last 100 and 150 years is that it's less nutrient dense. And so this, I think, is just a definitely superior for year-round type of system. And the produce that you get off of it, people are seem to be very organic conscious. And there are no pesticides, there are no insecticides, there's nothing that you need to spray on the plants to help them to grow. So I feel really good that we're eating very, very, very highly nutritious food, and we're plucking it to eat straight off the tower. We take it straight to a bowl and we eat it. We don't have to wash it. We don't have to worry about when it was picked from whatever grower. If we've purchased it at the grocery store, a farmer's market, I think is a really good choice also. But if you want to grow your very own food in the cold of winter and have it in your house and be able to feel really good about the nutrition that you are feeding your body, this is a fabulous system to consider.
We have ours in that back room that I showed you, and it's right coming off of the backyard of our driveway and of our garage. And so when our grandchildren come over, they walk in that door and they walk right by the tower garden. Well, a couple of them just pick the leaves right off the tower and start eating it as they come through. Now, why is that important? Is because they're learning good habits. They're learning good eating habits. Now, this is one of the things that really excites me about this tower garden, is they have a program for schools. All right. And so as schools look at this, and as schools can create their own gardens, and many schools have a greenhouse, right? But this is a system that you can put inside the school building, and you can move it from classroom to classroom. And it's really, really
I love tower gardens in the classroom. They are the most cost-effective school garden aligned to academic outcomes one can ever imagine. And best of all, I can take my garden to the cafeteria, down the hallway, to one class, to another class, to another class, use it for science, use it for literacy, use it for art. Tower gardens are about so much more than growing healthy outcomes and growing healthy fruits and vegetables. They're about the science, the math, the record keeping, the data, the prediction, the analysis, and then, of course, there's the eating. And when you expand their palates, you expand their vocabularies. And when you expand their vocabularies, you expand their minds.
So expanding their mind, and with this, also with the school system, there's free curriculum. So you have pre-K through 12th grade curriculum that you can wheel your tower gardens around classroom to classroom, just like you said. And then you can use the produce for your cafeteria to use on its salad bar.
which is absolutely wonderful. Our school district happens to have 3 towers. There are, I think Frank is going to show a picture of this graphic that he has up. It talks about all of the different schools across the country.
There's more than 5,000 schools across the country that have tower gardens within them.
And so that number is growing, and it would be great for you to consider that for your school district as well. It would be.
It would be.
Absolutely. There, as Frank said, ours are just about the school systems who have this. You can get one. You can get, our school happens to have 3. They display it in the library is where they keep it. But because you can put the tanks on dollies, that's where the mobility comes from, so that the art classroom could learn some ways to draw the produce that's growing on there. Then you can take it down to your math instructors, and you can do the calculations of the height or the water volume, all kinds of things. And that's where this curriculum that comes with the Tower Garden comes in really handy. So teachers don't have to make this up. It already comes with the purchase of the Tower Garden. So there's all kinds of ways that the tower can be used in a classroom setting, in a home setting, in a, oh my goodness, you could go to nursing home facilities. That whoever eats would benefit from this Tower Garden.
The nice thing about this too, or kind of the neat thing about this too, is that you know how water features, you purchase water features for your home. Well, because of the timing system, in that 20-gallon tank that you saw, where you put the water, there is a submergible pump. Now, there's a couple of different tower systems, and there is a new home tower system that I haven't showed you, but we can. They all work the same, but there's a immersible pump in the tank that pumps the water up through a tube and then showers that down along the roots. Well, if you like fountains, you get a very nice waterfall sound in the room that you're in. And so that's on a timer system. We have ours timed to where it waters on the hour for 15 minutes. So it's 15 minutes on, 45 minutes off. That is our environment that we have found that our produce does the best with that type of environment and that type of timing. Now, also we have lights. You saw the lights on the system, on ours, and those lights then, as you can see them there, those lights are on also a timer. They're on for 16 hours a day. So they pop on at about 6:15 in the morning, and then they pop off at 10:15 at night. And because your produce needs time to sleep also. So you time that for your day. Now, every environment is different, so your tower will react in your environment differently. All the water is different also, so there are pH balances that you can do. But the nutrients go in the water. It's self-feeding, you take care of it. All you really have to do is harvest this, and we get 6 months worth of produce off of one tower. And we also then overgrow, so we have to give some away because just the 2 of us, we can't keep up with what we plant. And so every tower, we also plant something different, which is kind of fun too.
This time, actually, we are really excited because our cucumbers and our peppers are actually growing. What grows on a tower garden is our produce that are not root vegetables. So it doesn't work for carrots or beets or potatoes. But anything that grows out of the ground, so tomatoes, cucumbers, eggplant, all kinds of lettuces, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, those are the things that we grow most often. But the cucumbers and the peppers, this is our first time growing those. And we're super excited because there's little baby plants there. And we're just eagerly looking forward to having our own fresh cucumbers and our own fresh peppers.
So if you have children at home, you'll want to pay attention to this. Or if you have children in school, you'll want to pay attention to this, because food researchers at Ohio State University, the Ohio State University, and Cornell University in New York, they found that children are 5 times more likely to eat salad when they have grown it themselves. And schools that have gardens are finding this out, is that children eat what they grow. And because they're curious about it, they have seen where it comes from. It's not this icky type of stuff. They have really built a relationship with what they're growing. And so they want to consume it. They want to try it. So if you have a picky eater at home, try one of these to help. But also I want to talk about what you can do as a community, because as a community, you can put these towers under glass. As an entrepreneur, you can grow this and then sell the produce to restaurants. We know a couple of growers across the country that are doing this. They are growing indoors. They're growing this, and then they're selling their fresh produce to restaurants in the area. So their restaurants get local produce. Also, there are restaurants that are having the tower gardens also, and it creates a great atmosphere for their diners, but it also provides them with fresh produce that they don't have to purchase. So there's many, many different uses for the tower garden, and it's cost efficient, right? As I said, it uses 1/10 of the water of what it would do in 1/10 of a space of a regular sized garden. And so the cost effectiveness of this is very, very minimum, very low, that you can move forward, but the high in nutrition. So you're feeding and you're having healthy food, local foods, and you're helping feed your community.
And this matters. One of the reasons that we are focusing on nutrition and health is because if you think about your healthy people making healthy communities, what we feed ourselves, we literally are what we eat. When we feed our bodies properly, our brains work better, our bodies work better. Why does that matter? It's because we have fewer healthcare costs. We have fewer mental health issues. When our bodies literally are fed the nutrients that our body needs to function at optimal levels, then that impacts our systems in our communities. And so we feel that that is a very important part of community that we need to talk about. And so we do emphasize nutrition for our communities for you to think about, because it's going to impact how your finances go, your budget, how your people feel. And when we feel good, we behave better. And that's an important part of community life as well.
And so when you're really making your decisions, okay, if you want a good outcome, you have to drive your car. This is our car. Circumstances plus actions equal your results. If you really want to be healthy, those are part of your actions that you have to take as your outcome. So if you had a New Year's resolution of I'm going to eat healthier this year, this is one of the actions that you can take, because you have to move, you have to do the things to get the results that you want. It just doesn't happen. 90% of what you do is subconscious. 95% of what you do is a subconscious thought. You have trained yourself into thinking a certain way, into doing a certain action. And so this is why we say it's nutrition for the mind, is because as you think, as you're changing the way you think about things, you're also changing the way your actions are, your physical actions, which will then in turn get you good results. That's all about Rural Community Solutions, is how do you get different results? Look, folks, we are coming out of a COVID crisis. We are coming out of a time in a time that we haven't had in more than 100 years, this type of crisis. We cannot afford to go back to what was normal in February of 2020. All right. That's not normal. We have to create a new environment. We have to create new ways of looking at the world, new ways of thinking, and new ways of reacting towards our environment. Because it's your actions that are creating the future. It's not the future that is going to react to you. It is you creating your future based upon the actions that you are taking right now.
So if being healthy is one of the actions, yesterday and today, specifically, we are giving you some really wonderful products that you can think about. And for your community, this Tower Garden system is a marvelous opportunity to address hunger, to address food sustainability. For climate, this is a marvelous system to consider because it uses less water and is extremely efficient, and it doesn't take up very much space.
So if you're looking for more information, give us a call or give us an email, give us a call. You can do that. You can find us at ruralcommunitysolutions.com or give me an email at frank@ghorizons.com or kim@ghorizons.com, and we will be happy to answer any of your questions. So if you want to know more about the Tower Garden, you want to know more about healthy eating, give us a call. We're right here.
So we thank you for joining us. You could be a lot of places, but you have chosen to listen to our video and to the information so that you can have a healthy community, because healthy people do make those healthy communities. And that is a family-friendly, youth-centered place.
Hey, so come back tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. where Kim's going to give you some recipes and talk about how to create really good food. Yeah, really good food that people enjoy eating that is healthy. So come back tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Time, right here, Rural Community Solutions TV, at our live stream on our YouTube channel, or Rural Community Solutions on our Facebook page.
And if you want to catch the podcast, go to anchor.fm/Frank Spillers. Look for Think Like an Entrepreneur, Become a Spark Plug, and you can listen on the podcast.
We hope you have a great day. So keep thinking positive thoughts, keep doing positive actions, and you will have positive outcomes. Have a great day.
Make healthy choices. Thanks.
Bye-bye.